What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action. Spawning in the bottom of the map, it is Team DoD. Yes, and Team DoD is made up of the Hades player Skadi, purple, the Isis player Joe, blue, the teal color, no, the Thor player teal color player Shelty. Yes. Boom, boom. Boomski. All the stuff. Yes, good. Their opponents today in the green color playing as Loki. His name is Icaro. In the yellow color playing as Ra. His name is Gold Lion. In the red color playing as Zeus. His name is Nullus. And yes, the map is Anatolia. Fantastic map here for team games. It's a very interesting dynamic here in the team games because the middle player is at a significant disadvantage to the side players because he needs to he needs to send the villager a much longer way to get the fish started. So by the time the dock gets up here for Skadi, Shelty will already have 2 or 3 fishing ships out. Same thing for Joe. Joe's already got his 2 fishing ships out. He'll be getting more later. So that's the dynamic, but both players are in that similar position. And what this means basically is that you don't want to risk going Atlantean in this map. You'd think maybe Atlantean's not so bad if you get a side position here because you put the docks up and it's really close to the town center. That's a good place to put a dock if I ever seen one as an Atlantean player. But the actual thing is that their ships just aren't strong enough in a head-on fight to win the opponent. So what ends up happening is the stronger civs with the stronger ships, your Norses, your Egyptians, your Greeks, they all have more HP, more damage, less speed, and they get going pretty crazy fast here. Now, the next thing that is important here, and I see both of these teams not doing it, so maybe I'm wrong because these guys are the best players in the world. But the thing that tends to be the case here is that because your middle player has such a disadvantage, they advance to the classical age later. So they need to have the safe spot here. They need to be in the back. They need to chuck their dock down. They need to have all these spaces nice and safe. And you need to take the front space as the forward player because that allows you to get that fish going a little bit earlier so you can get all of these little fish spots in the front taken nice and quick. But neither players do that, and because both of them didn't do it, it means a little bit less. But if this was a 2v1 or a 1v2, different story, I guess. But in the 2v2, if say Icaro put his dock up forward, then he would be able to go forward. But he is playing Loki, so that changes things. That changes things a lot here. So Icaro playing Loki here on Anatolia, he's not going to want to fight water at all. He just wants to go Herso, go. And with the extra fish, we've seen in 1v1s, we've seen Sun Tzu on Tundra Pools say, show us that. Give us an extra couple of fish, bud, and I'll make Loki the best god in the game. So Loki very happy to play those situations there. But we've got Joe on the bottom of the map here. He's playing by himself here against Nullus' Zeus. So this is actually a really difficult matchup here for the Isis in the team game because Zeus gets a huge fish boom, which is kind of standard in the 1v1, but the map is so big that any sort of Ancestors Eclipse shenanigans just hits too late. And the power spikes come in so strong. Nullus gets out Dionysus if he wants to go Dionysus, if he's feeling like he needs to. He gets Skylar, very hard to hold onto the water. He gets some Skylar that come out. He gets early Hephaestus, all of the good things. So we're going to have to see what Joe's going to want to do here. So what I would recommend here, if you have to, is go Bast, go for a semi-fast heroic here, and Ancestors Eclipse the Zeus player's economy. That's going to slow him down enough on the gold mine, on the everything, so that you can kind of survive this water. You also get the Eclipse on the Leviathan as well to help out, and that's a thing. So, we will see. Forsetti is on the way here for Icaro now. He's only got one dock. He's built forward here, it looks like. Oh God. Is that in line of sight? I'm not sure if it is in line of sight or not. That one definitely isn't. But the Ursa are going to be starting to come in. Icaro wants to push the pressure on immediately here onto Shelty as he's getting pushed back here. The trolls are coming in. Shelty's going to have to fight the land team. We do see an immediate Sentinels coming in, but that just means Icaro can now move in onto Skadi. Skadi's got no defenses here. He's got no wall chips up, no defense onto this at all. We do have Shelty's troll coming in. The villagers turning around, going to be attempting to fight here. Nice micro from Icaro as the villagers have to pull back. He just needs to move onto this location here. There is a spy onto this though, as we see Gold Lion going through Tar here as well. That's going to help out with the shifting sands. At some point, we're starting to see those cabinets coming through as Shelty pushing forward. Longboats, he needs to be on the land. Norse players need to be on the land. The Greek player needs to be on the sea. We'll see how that's going to go. Meanwhile, we've got Armory coming up for Joe. Cabinets starting to come out. He's only gone 4 docks, which is a little bit surprising here with a late advance like he's done here. Normally we see a lot more. Maybe he's going to go for a second town center and moving the Sphinx Fort, looking for some damage here. We've got the Armory coming through for Nullus. Nullus is going for a fast heroic here. Nullus is going to go for an Underworld. He is going for Hoplite Span. He's going to sack the water somewhat here. And we see Apollo, we see military academies coming down for Nullus, and Icaro is just sprawled out here. Maybe Gold Lion can shifting sands villagers forward with a decent enough heroic age here and sack this water as well, though he's got enough to just hold here with enough of those docks. And the walls sort of, or more buildings just coming up everywhere. We see the Hersa coming in, and Skadi is doing the patented Skadi villager fight here as Icaro is taking out so many villagers. There's the restoration coming in here as he's attempting to fight this one back. As he's trying to. He does have the help of the town center, though the town center was targeting down a Valkyrie there instead of the Hersa. More villagers going down on this location. We see the prosperity coming in. That's generally speaking, the prosperity comes in order to get an earlier heroic age. So we'll see if that's going to come through any time soon. Pickaxe coming through here for Shelty as we're starting to see those hoplites getting built, but Nullus housed at the moment. He needs to sort that out. He needs to get those upgrades. The medium hoplites is sort of vital here. He could simply just Underworld Passage this town center here if he had enough units out, but just 2 military academies doesn't feel like enough. We see the bolt there onto that Sphinx. And these fishing ships just happily fishing away as more cabinets coming in for Joe in order to hit that location there. And Skadi is under so much pressure here. And there's the Underworld from Nullus, ready to start pushing in. Hoplites coming in here. We got the Manticore, we've got the Minotaur, but we don't have too many heroes. One Jason. And now we'll see, will Nullus simply be able to just go straight in onto this town center? I believe he's got a restoration. He does have the restoration, so he could very easily just hit this town center and take it down. You see the military academy going down. Icaro's free Einhjar going to get picked off as well, and it's even looking like Gold Lion has managed to win this water as well, which is absolutely huge. Surprised to not see a heroic age here from Gold Lion. The Ancestors Eclipse coming in onto this location, but Nullus, he can just retreat. He can just leave if he wants to. It looks like he's trying to take this fight here. Feels like it's going to be fine. The Ancestors Eclipse, very, very strong god power. And he is just going to retreat here. And that's a pretty wasted god power that we see. Sultan 4 coming through for Joe. 3 town centers getting grabbed. He is attempting to boom into a crazy level of economy here because there's really nothing else that's going to matter. But Gold Lion, he's in a similar position to Joe, whereas Skadi is completely destroyed. So this is a very, very difficult position to be in here for Team DoD. Fade 2 playing this one exceptionally well. More units just pumping in here by Eric Icaro. Surprised to see this town center still standing though, as the units are just gonna able to just tear that down. We even see some the power splits coming in to pick off those infantry units, as we see. Starting to see some cavalry coming out, barracks coming down. Maybe we get some axemen here. The villagers having to make a run for it, but Icaro is just going to chase them down. He's going to attempt to throw a barracks in front, get some ghost buildings, it looks like, as those Hearse are trying to get some sort of surround. No, he's just going in for low HP kills. And Scardy's town center will be falling here. The Pharaoh coming in, going to be able to snipe that Manticore if he doesn't get picked off. Axemen now popping out for Joe. The town center, very, very low. We see one villager valiantly trying to repair that one back up, but it's not going to cut it. And we see some more units coming over here for Shelty. What a crazy game here by these players. We're seeing Hathor now coming through for Gold Lion. He does have Shifting Sands, so he can just Shifting Sands into this position, grab this town center, and then Citadel here. Hathor, I don't think, is the right play here. Just grab the town center, Citadel it, grab the middle of this location here. No trade between the players. Being a fantastic position here, but deciding to not do that. There's also no Ancestors Eclipse left either, so it's completely safe, but these players just not having it right now. As he's going for the safe route, going for the Hathor. He's up to 3 town centers now, pumping villagers out. Cabinets searching for every little ounce of fishing ship they can get. Just starting to see Hall of Thanes now coming through for Shelty to help out his Hearser, though. I don't really rate getting Hall of Thanes with well, I mean, that's one way to use Locust. I mean, oh god, he killed so many. I was like, I only killed 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, kind of a waste of Locust. But getting those extra 3 there, and that becomes a really good Locust. And that was sort of unlucky that those 2 died and this one walked over. Hate to see it. Hate to see Locust being good in those situations, but it is what it is. And now Icaro's town center is looking like a little bit out of position here. Is Joe able to come in and clean up all those hoplites? And Shelty doing nicely here in order to pick off a lot of what Icaro's got here. But looks like the Einhia and the Hearser throwing Axeman too much for them to deal with. Is Joe going to try and push in? Not quite on the same page here. Needs to be fighting this army here. And the Einhia going to be going down. We see the units pulling back. These guys can just keep on slinging those axes if he wants to, but going after a house instead. We're seeing Scardy's got his town center back. Let's just check this out. What is it, 6? No, 5. Scardy with 10 villagers remaining. 10 villagers. So we'll see if he can get back into the game. So one thing you can do here as in this position here is, instead of giving the town center back to Scardy, where he's not going to be able to utilize it very much, and he's not wasting resources, but he's kind of wasting resources on villagers. You take this town center as the Egyptian player, and instead of using it and just get it up to 20 population of caravans, and then you just feed and feed and feed the Greek player in the game, and that's going to keep him useful. He's got 10, 12 villagers. Throw down those military buildings, get the units out. Later in the game, when things are sort of stabilized a little bit after all of that, you can get that town center back to him and get him up to the next age. But this situation here is going to be a long road ahead for Scardy to get back into this game with only 10 villagers. So we'll see if he's going to be able to do it. There's a healing sprint coming down. We do see the units here from Joe. Going to get Garrison, already making some mercenary cavalry to make that happen. We see those Peltas coming in. Joe has to be careful. You don't see Peltas very often, but these units are very, very deadly against the chariot archers. If they're microed, they're very deadly. One mercenary cavalry can make them very sad. That's for sure. I feel like this unit should have like 35% pierce armor. Just because he just doesn't get used. I think that buff would help out a lot. We see Osiris coming through for Joe as well. No Thoth. Why not? Ah! So the Axeman coming in, going to try and take down the siege tower. And Gold Line's going to jump up and down here with that. But Sukos flying away for the time being. Siege Works coming up now for Joe. Doing all the good things. He's just trying to push in. This is actually relatively close considering Skadi can kind of get kept alive by Joe. Part of the reason why maybe going Thoth here isn't actually a terrible idea is you get Book of Thoth, which is going to kind of put you in a similar economic position to the Ra player. You can't get Book of Thoth. And then your villagers gather a lot faster. But Osiris gives a big push here, which maybe he needs to try and take out Nullus. But he's going to have to deal with Goldline, who's going to kind of come in. He's not going to just sit back and wait. He's going to come in, try and pick off Joe's town centers and do all of those things here. Where Skadi's not got anything. And imagine if this town center was Joe's and Skadi had 100 population of military right now, or 90 population of military just from being fed. This could be defended here. We see Joe pushing in, trying to take down all these units. And the other thing that Thoth gives you, which might be overlooked in a situation like that when you need to push in, you get those Phoenix, which are great siege weapons as well to help push in even more. And there's the Tornado. What the hell? Where do you use it? Tornado onto Shelty's base. Shelty, no upgrades here on this town center. Something, whenever you got a Ra in the game, so we have to get before 15 minutes is fortified town centers and masons. If you get those two upgrades, the town center doesn't die. It's incredibly important. And you can feel great. But Joe, he's going to try it. He's going to make a good push in here. He might be able to get this done if he can hold on to this location with Mercenary, which looking like he's maybe able to. That Gold Line is kind of everywhere but there. Maybe he's just going to push in and take down Skadi again. Again, another reason here. Skadi's not going to be able to hold on to his own base at this point. And Siege Tower will take down the house. The villagers coming in. Very easy to defend against Siege Tower with the villagers, but this many Siege Towers is a very different story. Where did the Son of Osiris go? Did the Son of Osiris die? No, he's alive. He's alive somewhere. Don't you worry. I don't know where he is, but he's alive. Oh, there he is. I found him. And Flaming Weapons Triple Winter coming in now for Icaro. That's dodging the frost. And Shelty kind of has to fight this, so he really doesn't want to. He's going to lose all of these throwing axemen. The throwing axemen from Icaro just do so much more damage. What does it go up to? It goes up to 9.9 versus 4.95. So just a gigantic advantage there. And the Fibble Wolves, onto Shelty's economy as well here. These wolves do so much damage. 14 damage a second. Which is absolutely huge. Going to be able to take out these villages incredibly quickly. Meanwhile, Joe has managed to push through Nullus, who is really not able to stabilize here in this game. So this is going to be a very, very interesting one here if Joe can get big enough to hold on, because Icaro, he kind of doesn't have anything to deal with the Osiris of Joe, because the mummy is going to be able to pick off all of the myth units that come in. And he should be able to hold everywhere, but the problem is Ra just moving around with a ton of those catapults. We see the Son of Osiris is actually getting some work done here. He should probably been dead by now, but not happening just yet. We see some siege towers coming back for Joe as he's retreating away from this location, giving a little bit of breathing room for Nullus. Meanwhile, Icaro has been frosted here as Shelty is trying to stabilize, but man, the advantage for Icaro in this game over Shelty is ginormous. We see some villagers coming in for Joe to try and slow Icaro down, taking down these houses. Not a bad idea, not a bad use of these villagers at this point in the game, but Shelty does decide to tap out. Joe decides to tap out, And Skadi decides to tap out here. Nice play here from Fade 2. The temple in this location here, the early temple down here and here, just a supremely executed strategy here from Fade 2. Not a lot the DoD could do to defend it after the event, not spotting it early enough. And it's just the damage just kept on coming. Nullis' underworld strategy to push in and just finish off Skadi just a little bit too much. I would have loved to have seen what would have happened if Joe had grabbed this town center, but it also seemed like Shelty was too far behind as well. Shelty kind of has to go at least equal with Icaro to do the kind of like keeping alive feed strat that I was sort of suggesting there. But that's Fade 2. They get their first win. Not going to be getting swept here in this best of 5. We'll move on to game number 5 very, very shortly. If you guys are enjoying these games, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.